Is there a black flame showing up somewhere out there? Are the Sanderson sisters going to be back in Hocus Pocus 3 to cause more trouble? Good news, Sarah Jessica Parker is of course coming back as the sassy Sarah Sanderson, and a new witch is joining the group. Yes, you heard right, we've got a lot more for you about Hocus Pocus 3, so let's get started. To begin with, Hannah Waddingham is now a member of the gang. Is she going to be your friend or enemy? These witches are getting ready to do some really bad things. Hocus Pocus 3 is being made in Disney's Magic Pot. D'Angelo is excited about giving Hannah Waddingham a bigger part in the story, which will add something new to it. There is a seriously funny witch in the future movie who hints that the Coven is about to go through some big changes. We don't know when it will come out yet, but Disney has announced that Hocus Pocus 3 is being made. This comes after the 2022 remake of Disney Plus was a huge hit. Director Anne Fletcher, who was great at making Hocus Pocus 2, will be back to direct the third movie. Even though Hocus Pocus 2's ending seemed to wrap things up nicely, the sneaky scene after credits made fans excited and curious. The Sanderson sisters can come back at any time. If you want to know if there'll be a Hocus Pocus 3, the answer is a strong yes. If you haven't seen Hocus Pocus 2 yet, careful, the full cast list is still a secret, but it's hard to picture a new Hocus Pocus movie without the three main characters. All of us loved Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy as Winifred, Sarah, and Mary Sanderson. They are likely to play the same parts again. One of the stars of the movie joked with Entertainment Weekly that they might be back for a second time. Many people think that the Sanderson sisters will come back, but the big question is whether or not they are known faces will join the magical chaos. Jen D'Angelo, the screenwriter, wants to add more people to the group, which suggests a new wave of magic users, each adding their flavor to the movie's boiling pot. There's no clear date yet for when Hocus Pocus 3 will come out. Bette Midler said she would be in a third movie if there was one. A lot of fans feel the same way. We want more Sanderson sisters, but only if the story makes sense and is interesting. Bill Butcherson, played by Doug Jones, is a figure we might have to say goodbye to. Now that Winifred curse is off, he's probably gone to live with God, but Whitney Peak, Belissa Escobodio, Lilla Buckingham, and Sam Richardson, who were all in Hocus Pocus 2, seem willing to play their parts again. Their desire to come back makes the story more fun and keeps it going. D'Angelo also suggested that Hannah Waddingham's wonderfully dry witch character might be expanded, which would give the next movie a new twist. Think about adding new humans and witches to the Sanderson trio, each with their squills and quirks. This is a huge chance for interesting new people and plots, even though we are just getting started with Hannah's mother witch. Young witches from the next book are already very excited about their journey. Lilia jokes that one of them might become warped by power, which gives them a fun twist. The line "somebody's going to have to light it" by Whitney Peak hints at a second black flame candle. It might be my turn to tell some kids what's right now. To make things even more interesting, some cast members from the first movie who were not in the second one want to come back. Aaron Burr, who voices Binks the Cat, and Vanessa Shaw, who played Allison in the first movie, can't wait to come back. There is even more joy because of how excited they are. The excitement is high because of the thought of new adventures with young witches and the possible return of beloved characters from the first book. Fans are excited to see what shocks are in store and how the storyline will progress. There will be spells, mischief, and of course magical times in the bubbling cauldron of possibilities. We all want another deliciously wicked journey because Hocus Pocus' charm never goes away. Hocus Pocus stays magical because of its sweet story and the way it makes you remember good times. However, we agree with Kathy. It's such a fun story and thinking about it makes it even better. Omri Katz, who played Max, was also excited about the idea of a third movie. He said it would be an honor to come back, especially to work with some of his co-stars. Let's look at the magical past that led to the beginning of this story. In 1693, Three bad witches named Winifred, Sarah and Mary Sanderson caused a lot of trouble in the quiet town of Salem. These naughty sisters were called the Sanderson sisters, and a brave little boy named Thackeray Binks finally stopped them. Unfortunately, Thackeray's bravery had an unexpected outcome. He turned into a black cat just in time for the people of the town to catch the witches. Winifred, the older sister, cast a mean spell before she was caught. She said that the witches would come back if the black flame candle was ever lit by a virgin. In the year 1993, a strange visitor named Max Dennison moved to Salem. By accident, he lights the black flame candle, which starts a chain of events that brings the Sandersons back to life. No more peace in the town. Now the witches are out to get payback and make the most of their second chance. The Sanderson sisters have come back to town 300 years after their last Halloween. They want to take the life force from every child in town. That won't go down without a fight from Max's sisters Danny and his crush Allison. They join forces with Zia, a cat who knows some magical secrets, and Billy Butcherson, a zombie who doesn't want to be there but used to date Winifred. In a funny Halloween fight, they go up against the witches together. In Hocus Pocus 2, we go back in time to 1653. And we meet Winifred Sanderson as a teenager. She doesn't want to follow the rules of her time, which makes her a rebel. She would rather wear pointy hats to make potions. She is kicked out of Salem when she turns down John a boring boo. Winifred isn't scared off though. She goes with her sisters into a scary forest where they meet an all-powerful witch. The spell book this witch gives Winifred is much more exciting than any party card. This book is the real start of Winifred's trip into magic. It sets the stage for future adventures and leads to the event of the first Hocus Pocus movie. When Hocus Pocus 2 comes out, it will be almost 30 years after the first movie. The Sanderson sisters are back with more magical trouble. This time, we meet Becca, a witch who is 16 years old and is having a party with her friends to celebrate. They find a strange magic shop while on their party trip. They are looking around when they find a strange black candle and light it without realizing how dangerous it is. Oh no, when you light that lamp, the Sanderson sisters, Winifred, Sarah and Mary, come back to life and they are all ready to cause trouble in Salem again. They're hungry and more determined than ever. The new people the sisters want to kill are the children of the Revend, who ordered them to be burned at the stake. These witches are hungry and want to fight Salem again on Halloween. The clever ending of Hocus Pocus 2 makes room for a possible third movie. It looked like the story was over, but when Becca and her friend Izzy lit the candle, it opened up new options. There's a hint of another light out there, which means that more magical mischief is possible. What do you think will happen in Hocus Pocus 3? Could Becca and her friends start a new witch cult, or the Sanderson sisters might come back for another crazy fight? The second book in the beautiful series leaves us with a lot of questions and exciting ideas for the next one. We can't wait for what comes next. That much is certain. Are the Sanderson sisters going to finally get back at them? Are there going to be new spells and fights with magic? And could it be that some old friends show up out of the blue? Lots of great things are coming up, and we can't wait to see how the story goes. Now that we know more about Hocus Pocus 3, what kinds of magic do you want the Sanderson sisters to cast? Do share in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for tuning in.